Are you sick of living in the shadow with someone else? Need some help learning to love yourself and tap into your unique strengths, or embrace your leadership potential so you can thrive in your life. This is Empower with Nancy. Let's start the show. Oh.
Hi there. Welcome to another episode with Empower with Nancy. Today, we're going to talk about a critical yet often overlooked topic. It's people traction within a business. So, this isn't just about having a good team, it's about the understanding how the right people in the right roles can really propel your business forward. So grab your coffee. If you're driving to work, drink your coffee, be safe. If you're not, you're at home or in the office, just take a few moments. It's going to be a short episode. Relax, take notes, and really go within. So let's start with the basics. I love to keep things absolutely simple and not so complex and focusing on emotional effect. So, what exactly do we mean by people traction? Essentially, it's the concept of leveraging human capital to gain momentum in your business. It involves aligning your team's strengths, motivations, and the skills within the business and their goals to create a powerful, high performing unit. I always say there's two things within our personal life and business: attitude, communication. And sometimes you can't just, people don't just have that attitude and communication. They do, but they choose how they want to react. So, first off, why is people traction so important in an organization? Well, think about it. Your business is a car. Okay, I'm just thinking of this hypothetically. The engine might be powerful and the design might be super beautiful and sleek. But without traction, the grip on the road, the car won't move efficiently at all. It's stuck. So it's very similar in a business with a solid strategy and innovative ideas that can really still within people to help them effectively engage and utilize their strengths and their power. Without the people, you don't have a business. So people traction impacts several critical areas. And there's four that I feel that is very important. And the first one is productivity. So when people are in roles that match their skills and interests, they're more productive. They work faster, smarter, and collaborative with their team. Don't try to put someone in a position that is not for them. It's crucial and very important that when you're in an interview process, and by the way, don't just look at a resume and make the decision. Look at the resume to have a brief background of the individual, then call them into an interview. Maybe one, two, or three interviews, whatever you feel is right. But it is important that you interview according to their skills, their personality. And I would expect, I know when I interview people, I want them to interview me. I don't want to control that whole conversation. And that is one powerful point that you want to look at when interviewing. So, productivity, making sure that you put the people in the right roles. The morale, number two. High people transaction really means high employee satisfaction. So people feel valued, motivated, leading to a positive workplace within your organization and the culture. So, high people traction means high employee satisfaction. And very, very important. Number three, retention. Employees who are engaged see growth opportunities, are less likely to leave. So, saving you from the cost, the disruptions associated with high turnover. You don't want an organization with high turnover. So, retention is important. Retention tells a lot about the company and their leaders. Number four is innovation. A team that feels trusted and empowered is more likely to contribute really good solutions and ideas collectively as a team. So, innovation is very, very important. So, there are just four to me that are people tractions: one, productivity; two, morale; three, retention; and four, innovation. All right. So, do we identify the right people to create this traction? It's more than just hiring based off resumes, as I had mentioned before. So, there's another four components that are very, very important is the culture fit. Does this candidate share the company values and vision? Not every person is a great fit, as you already know. So it's important that you make sure that this individual is a great candidate for your company. Number two is skills and experience. Do they have the technical know how and past experiences that align with the role? And I will say it's not 100% critical that they need to know everything about that job description. If they have the technical know how with the right attitude and knows how to communicate, that's a good person to bring aboard and work with them. Number three is potential for growth. Are they adaptable and willing to learn new things and come out of their comfort zone? A lot of people get stuck in their comfort zone. They like to keep things very, very simple, do the same thing over and over and over and over again. But I'm telling you, sometimes that can get very monotonous, very boring. And you want to make sure that change is good, just as long as the change is not constant. You want to adapt with the change. If there's change that needs to happen, make sure you bring your team together to talk about that change. It doesn't necessarily need to be only from executives. It could start from executives and then go down, right? Meaning that the managers, supervisors, meeting with their team and really getting the power and the empowerment of feeling of what they feel is best. Remember, your employees are the ones that are running the company. Number four is motivation and drive. What is their personal drive? Are they passionate about work? Do they wake up in the morning and want to come to work? Are they excited about coming to work? If they don't have the motivation and drive, you need to find out why. Every manager should know their team inside and out by just, if they walk in the door, knowing how their body's position, their attitude, their look. Even if you're working from home and you jump on a Zoom call or a Teams call, you should know if your team is feeling motivated or driven and if something is wrong. One effective method is to conduct behavior interviews and personality assessments that focus on past experiences and on how candidates handle various situations. Super, super important. This can give you insight into their problem solving abilities, their teamwork, and adaptability and collaboration. So once you have all the right people, it's about placing them in the right roles, as I said earlier. This is where you understand each member's strengths and weaknesses. So tools like the Strength Finder and Myers-Briggs can be very helpful. I use both assessments, been using those assessments for years, and they are extremely helpful and extremely accurate. Have fun with it. It's not a test, it's an assessment. So, for example, someone might excel in being very creative. They're a creative thinker, but struggling with time management. So, placing them in a role that maximizes their creativity while providing support for their organization colleagues can lead to optimal performance. Try not, or I don't want to say try, just don't put someone in a position that doesn't suit them. So remember, it's about really taking each strength and weaknesses within the team and identifying appropriately. So even with the right people in the right roles, you need to do the right environments to foster the attraction, the everything within the organization. So, clear communication, ensuring everyone knows the company's goals and their roles, achieving them. So, make sure that you do regular check ins and then always have an open door policy that can really foster transparency and it really builds trust. When I was in corporate America, I always had that open door policy. I wanted every single employee not to be scared to come to my door and ask me a question or make them feel that they have a silly question because no question is silly. Recognition and rewards. Acknowledge achievement, both big and small. This can be through formal rewards, having team get togethers and giving them simple thank you notes or the attaboys. There's so many different recognition rewards that are out there that are very, very, very helpful. So you choose the ones that fit best for your organization. Professional development. Provide opportunities for growth through training, workshops, and mentor programs. It is very, very important to constantly have training. Create a training calendar, put training on the calendar each and every month, and do strong mentorship programs. Mentorship is an ongoing situation in any organization. You cannot have a once or twice a year mentorship programs and then stop. These are ongoing. I would highly suggest that you start monthly and always, and then maybe move them to quarterly. But mentorship and every manager should already be doing that on a day to day basis. And the training is important. Every position in an organization should have job aids and a training video. So, and making sure that is updated accordingly. You never know when you need to hire someone or there's turnover, which you definitely want to, or there's a situation where there's an emergency that that individual had to leave for a family emergency and is not going to come back for a month or two, or even vacations. So it's important to have the training written and video. Lastly, I'm going to talk about is supportive culture. Guys, culture, culture, culture. Don't just have core values and you write the core values for your business and you don't follow it. Create a culture that encourages collaboration, innovation, and work life balance. Don't just make it about work, the almighty dollar. Make it about work life balance with their personal life and business. Any organization should be an organization as though it's their family. It doesn't matter if you're small, medium, or large. Have a family oriented business. It is powerful. It is very, very lucrative. It gives your staff feeling empowered and fulfilled. Again, if my staff does not wake up feeling empowered and fulfilled, shame on me because I need to know exactly why they do not feel that way. So, I want to leave with this is how do you measure people traction? This really can be tricky, but here are some tips that I want to share with you before ending this episode. Number one is employee engagement scores. Do a survey within your organization and outside of your organization, figuring out who is satisfied, who can get along with each other. Are they doing what they say they should be doing? Or are they following the procedures? Employee engagement scores are important. This is not about you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. No, it's collaboratively working together. I highly suggest, and I've always done this in corporate America, is have surveys internal and external. This is going to help you determine the areas that you're really flourishing in and areas for improvement. Number two is turnover rates. What is the turnover rate within your organization? High people traction often creates lower turnover rates. So if you have a constant turnover rate, you're not going to build a very strong oriented company that is collaboratively working together as a team, because people come in and then they want to leave. And there's a reason for that. Maybe they're not getting enough training. Maybe they feel that they're not part of the growth of the company. Maybe their managers or what have you don't know how to manage, or they're belittling people or making them feel terrible, or maybe they're just employees are not making the staff feel good. There's so many laundry lists of things, but you need to figure that out. Performance matrix. Look at productivity levels, right? Project completion rates and matrix, KPIs. What does that look like? Don't just do KPIs once in a blue moon. You have to be consistent. Again, being consistent on things within a business or even our own personal life, consistency is number one. You can't be all over the place. Say, let me try this. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try that. That didn't work. You got to give it time. And performance matrix is super, super important. Lastly is feedback. Get regular feedback from your employees. It really can help you gauge the effectiveness of your people traction efforts. Feedback is important. So get it from management, get the feedback from staff, and let them know that the feedback is not getting anybody in trouble. The feedback is to help with the growth in the areas where they can improve and areas where they flourish. So it's not all negative. Trust me, it's not all negative. You need to be able to learn how to balance. So there you have it. I hope that this was informative to you and that you've taken great notes. Understanding fostering people traction within your business is very, very important. It's about finding the right people, placing them in the roles where they can thrive, and creating an environment that supports their growth and engagement. You will always have a very successful organization if you follow this. It is powerful. It is magical. Remember, your people are your greatest assets. Let me say that again. Your people in the organization are the greatest assets. So invest in them, and they will invest in your company's success. That is how easy it is and how powerful and magical that is. Thanks for tuning in to another episode with Empower with Nancy. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your network, friends, and subscribe for more insights. I release a podcast every single week on Wednesdays. Until next time, keep pushing forward and stay inspired. And remember, you have and can do anything you want. You have control over the will. With gratitude, Nancy. Thank you for listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and review, and share it with a friend. To connect with me and get all the behind the scenes content, you can follow me on Instagram at Empower with Nancy and visit my website, empowerwithnancy.com, to learn more about how coaching with me can significantly enhance your life and business. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. See you next time.